Race fans, the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals is bigger than ever. From January 29th through February 14th at Volusia Speedway Park. See the world of outlaws, sprint cars, and late models. Plus, American Sprint Car Series, USAC National Sprint Cars, the Super Dirt Car Series, and the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. Ticket packages, camping, and more at DirtCarNationals.com. Next winter, head south.
Every lap, every race, every bit of paint traded for every hard-fought place. Every checkered flag and trophy raised. Every ounce of dirt, sweat, and gears. They're all jammed inside every can of NOS Energy. Go ahead, open up a can.
If your answer to the summer heat is let it rain, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
I chose the Chasm system. A lot of the top drivers in the sport were using it, and being a father and all the back injuries happening, I felt like it's just extra insurance on keeping your back healthy and safe. Years ago, I broke and fractured my T5 vertebrae. Since then, I've always been on top of my safety stuff, but I think the Chasm is just the next layer of being on top of the safety.
It's ARP fasteners for whatever you race. From 2 wheels to 4. Off-road, on-road, even water. From the flat track to the salt flats. Grassroots racers, weekend warriors, and pros alike trust ARP. Made in America quality, family owned and operated. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com. No matter what you race.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's crisp.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts here.
At Pit Boss Jack's, we put in the work in the shop so you can put in your work at the track. Engineering, speed, durability. Pit Boss Jack's, like a boss.
This is a Dirt Vision special presentation. The best drivers, the best coverage. It's time to watch the greatest shows on dirt on Dirt Vision.
404. That is a number that once seemed unimaginable, but is now reality. That is how many drivers have entered for the 40th anniversary of dirt racing's biggest indoor race and a true crown jewel of midget racing. It's Monday, January 12th, and it's day one of the 2026 Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink. This Chili Bowl is already setting records, and cars haven't even hit the track for competitive action yet. Hi everyone, welcome to the Dirt Vision studio in Concord, North Carolina. Dirt Vision is honored to bring you hour-long previews of the Chili Bowl all week long to help you get all hyped up for an event that generates as many thrilling moments as any in this industry. I'm Connor Wade, hosting here in the studio, and veteran TV personality Dave Rieff is on site at the Tulsa Expo Raceway to bring us interviews and reports throughout our coverage. We will be with you until 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. After that, we encourage you to turn to Flow Racing, where every on-track lap will be covered live this week. All of Dirt Vision shows this week can be watched on the Dirt Vision app or on YouTube, Facebook, and X, all free of charge. The Chili Bowl excitement begins tonight with the Second Opinion Auto Center prelim night, where approximately 74 entries are expected to be the first to take to the track this week. It appears to be one of the most stacked prelim nights of the week based on the strength of field. Here's a look at just a few of the names that will garner the attention of the racing world tonight. Defending Chili Bowl champion and the best in the world, Kyle Larson. He's got a busy night. Also on track, World of Outlaws late model star Nick Hoffman, Justin Peck, Extreme's Ironman winner Cameron Key, Californian Shane Golobic, Okie, Trey Marcham, young and flashy Briggs Danner, Jake Andriotti, Mr. Monday, Cannon Mack, two-time Monday night winner Tanner Carrick, and several more. You'll hear from a few of these names during this Dirt Vision pre-race show. Now let's refresh your memory on how the format for this huge event works. The 400 pre-entered drivers will be split into 5 preliminary nights starting tonight, running through Friday. Each prelim night consists of a complete racing program with drivers earning passing and finishing points from heat races and qualifiers to line up the night's feature event. The winner and second place finisher from each prelim feature are locked into Saturday's Chili Bowl finale and have a guaranteed starting position of 10th or higher for a shot at the Golden Driller. 3rd through 8th place finishers in prelim competition will be seated into 2B mains on Saturday and so forth down the finishing order. Making the feature on your preliminary night guarantees at least a berth in an E main on Saturday. Come Saturday, all competitors will race with what's called alphabet soup, running double mains all the way down to around the letter Q. With the magnitude of cars making for a tough format, one mistake on the racetrack can bury a driver and cost them their entire week. Let's commence our stories with the Chili Bowl's defending champion, who will look to go back-to-back in the event for the second time in his career, beginning with the prelim run tonight. Kyle Larson often associates his name with winning, and a return to the Chili Bowl in 2025 got Larson his 3rd Golden Driller. He's already etched his name in history as one of the Chili Bowl's greatest competitors ever, but he might not be done there. It is realistic that Larson could be a real threat to Sammy Swindell's record 5 Chili Bowl wins, as he shows no signs of slowing down and continues to dedicate time to the Chili Bowl each January. In fact, Larson is already in the Chili Bowl record books. After for many years being a regular on Tuesday night, he switched to Monday last year and got his 8th career prelim win. That put him into a tie with Sammy Swindell and Christopher Bell for the most prelim wins in the event's history. Young Money has raced a midget just twice since last year's Chili Bowl, but don't expect that to slow him down. For the first time this week, let's get out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where Dave Rieff is going to tell us more about Kyle Larson.
Well, thanks, Connor. Of course, it's great to be part of the 40th Chili Bowl with another record car count this year on the north side of 400. So much talent once again under the building here at the SageNet Center. So much talent, but there is still, though, one name that strikes fear in all of these drivers. And, of course, we all know who it is. It's this man, Kyle Larson, back once again to do Kyle Larson type things. 2025, let's look back at it for Kyle Larson. You can kind of call it a bookend year. Started with a Chili Bowl win, his 3rd, then went on to a dominating win in Bristol and NASCAR. That set the stage for a championship run that, despite some speed bumps along the way, came to fruition with another great pit stop in Phoenix, beating Denny Hamlin out to get his 2nd NASCAR championship. He finished it up with the International High Limit win, big money deal there. And now Kyle Larson, all the way from down under, is back here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the place he likes to be. Of course, with 3 wins, that ties Christopher Bell. Now, both drivers within 2 of Sammy Swindell. You think Kyle Larson's thinking about maybe setting that all-time record? Probably not yet, because he's only worried about what comes next, and that starts in just a little bit. Now let's review Chili Bowl 2025. You'll remember Kyle Larson on qualifying night took a car that wasn't all that good. drove it better than it needed to, and got that prelim win. And over the next 4 or 5 days, Paul Silva and crew were able to give him everything he needed to go ahead and pick up that third Chili Bowl win. If you're thinking that that's the car that Kyle Larson won in last year, well, think again. Had a chance to talk with Paul Silva a little bit. This is a car that they debuted late in 2025 out on the West Coast swing with the midget racers out there. In fact, this was the car that he was piloting when Dason Pursley interrupted what was going to be a very quality run in Placerville, California. But Paul Silva feels very, very confident, as Paul Silva always does, and he should be ready to go. Kyle Larson going to be ready to go again as he continues making history, chasing history each and every step of the way. The question now remains is, for all of the travels that Kyle Larson does, you think he's thinking about the future? No, he's thinking about right now. And in just a few minutes, a guy with so much demands on his time is not even in the building. When the doors open and he walks through, every eye in this place will be on Kyle Larson, expecting him once again to do Kyle Larson kinds of things, Connor.
A yearly tradition of the Chili Bowl is the O'Reilly Auto Parts Invitational Race of Champions, a collaboration of talent from around motorsports and a celebration of its drivers' accomplishments in the most recent season and past Chili Bowls. A full field of 24 drivers have made the cut for this year's IROC, and we'll get some extra laps tonight. Those drivers are Kyle Larson, who we just talked about. He's in thanks to being a 3-time Chili Bowl champion. You can't leave Sammy Swindell, the 5-time Chili Bowl champion, out of the race of champions. Spencer Baston won the IROC in 2023. How about Jesse Love, NASCAR's O'Reilly Series champion from 2025? Kaylee Bryson, the first female to ever qualify for the Chili Bowl, also the 2025 Trans Am GTX champion. ASCS champion Sam Haferteep Jr., Shane Golobic, a third-place finisher in last year's Chili Bowl. Lucas Oil late model regular season champion Ricky Thornton Jr. is in, as well as Australian standout Caden Brown. His car owner, Christopher Bell, 3-time Chili Bowl champion. He had his big win in the Knoxville Nationals. Buddy Kofoid was eligible for the Race of Champions, however, he will not compete. We'll tell you more about that later on in the show. Cannon Macintosh, the USAC National Champion in 2025, big year for him. Dason Pursley, the runner-up in last year's Chili Bowl. Justin Grant, multi-time prelim winner at the Bowl. Silver Crown Championship in 2025 gets him into this race. And Tanner Thorson, the 2022 Chili Bowl champion, driving for himself. That race will be lined up via group qualifying, taking place during tonight's card, and will be 25 laps in distance. Remember, this race is completely separate from the week-long program and will feature drivers that will qualify on other nights. Because of the fact that this is the best of the best that gets another chance to battle with each other for bragging rights, the Race of Champions never disappoints. Shortly, we'll get back to breaking down more drivers, trying to lock in through the Second Opinion Auto Center qualifying night. When we come back, Dave Rieff will be standing by once again from the SageNet Center at Expo Square, and he'll have an awesome conversation waiting for you. Stay tuned.
Ready to rise? To the challenge? Above obstacles. Yes! Above perceptions.
Ruttiger, implement the pass on the top lane!
Above it all.
Let's go!
If so, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I'm faster than you. Yeah, well, I'm gnarlier than you.
I get more sideways.
I'm louder. Much louder.
I get wilder than you.
You sure about that, bro?
Harder.
Slicker.
Cooler.
Tougher.
Let's go.
So what you got?
Some races you watch. Some races you experience. June 17th through the 20th, the Huset's High Bank Nationals raises the stakes with $300,000 on the line, making it the highest-paying sprint car race in the country. The Huset's High Bank Nationals. Where will you be when history is made?
It's a moment of transformation when humans become heroes and training gives way to instinct. In that moment, senses are heightened to new levels. Every sound, every breath, every second that can mean the difference between life and death. Determination is matched only by empathy for those who need you most. In that moment, you need a tool that rises to the challenge. Simple, rugged, reliable. Amcus Rescue Systems, built for the moment.
Race fans, the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals is bigger than ever. From January 29th through February 14th at Volusia Speedway Park. See the world of outlaws, sprint cars, and late models. Plus, American Sprint Car Series, USAC National Sprint Cars, the Super Dirt Car Series, and the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. Ticket packages, camping, and more at DirtCarNationals.com. Next winter, head south.
About an hour and a half, or I should say an hour and 10 minutes away from kicking off the Monday night prelim of the 2026 Chili Bowl. Welcome back to the Dirt Vision studio here in North Carolina. We're going to get back out to the SageNet Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and take a look at these two guys. How about Dirt Vision's Dave Rieff and NOS Energy Drinks' Nick Hoffman, a late model guy, but for some reason, he likes to run this open wheel midget race every January. And Dave, I hear, it's not official yet, but from the way the pill draw went, it sounds like Nick's got a pretty important starting spot in the very first heat race of this year's Chili Bowl. What can you tell us about that?
Well, see, and Connor, that's why you've got to start, trying to explain to the average fan like me why the position he grabbed isn't like the catbird seat, because to me, it would be. Of all the drivers that drew pills that number 100, he was the only guy, believe it or not, to draw a pill in the single digit, which means you'll start on the pole of heat race number 1. To me, that sounds like the catbird seat, but with passing points, maybe not.
Yeah, in most situations, that'd be great, or be the first guy to go out for qualifying or something like that. But in this situation, start on the pole, you got to win your heat race. It's your only choice, really, to be able to get the best you can do in passing points, So you go backwards here, you're in a pretty bad spot. So, yeah, it sucks. I'm not very good at pill draw. My guys give me shit for that all the time. And a lot of times it'll be like, I'll be the last car to go out in Group A or the last car overall to go out in qualifying. And that can ruin a night pretty quick. But in this situation, you just deal with what you got and what you drew there. And trying to make the most out of it. You win your heat race here, it still gets you in a qualifier, and you got to make most of the qualifier then. So yeah, it's just another hoop and hurdle you got to go through. You just never know what it might throw at you, and we can get lucky here and get through the heat race good, and then just have a good qualifier and change our whole night.
I like to think that if I ever were a race car driver, that I don't know that I'd like to start on the pole of the first heat race, because you really don't know how hard you have to go to keep everybody behind you until somebody shows a nose.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to run as 100% as hard as you can the whole time. But the nice part about knowing you're going to be in an early heat race is the track's going to be pretty fast and harder to pass. So those guys that start, say, 8th or so in that first heat race, it's going to be pretty difficult to go forward. You'll be able to pick up a couple, but when the racetrack's pretty narrow, it gets pretty difficult to pass. So later in the heat races, say if you're going to draw a big number, you want to be in that 4th, 5th heat race, somewhere around that range. Once the racetrack starts to widen out and you see where guys are starting to run and how the racetrack's going to play out. But being in that first heat race, you kind of know what to expect a little bit. And yeah, you just got to go out there and gas on the thing.
So juiced up during practice yesterday, probably juiced up again here to start tonight. You got plenty of juice under the hood here?
Yeah, I think so. Our NOS Energy Drink car is really good. Rockwell Security. Jeff Taylor's gave me a great piece every single time I've came here. So I'm excited to do it again. I feel like we've gotten better, or I've gotten more comfortable every time I come into this building. It's just everything's got to go your way, and feel confident that I can at least get into the A main. You know, we've been close, just haven't got it done so far, and I feel like we got everything to do so. It's just, I don't know, this thing's good enough to do it. It's just me not doing anything stupid here and get through this heat race and go on with my night from there.
By the way, the conversation was had a little bit earlier about perhaps having a live pit bull here. He wasn't so excited about that, so we'll just call this the Pit Bull BS session. Pit Bull BS session. So let's talk about the 5 years of running the Chili Bowl. Peaks and valleys, those are words I'll use. 2 words would you describe?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty close. I mean, we've been in B mains, we've been in C mains and stuff like that. Run, I think, 5th on my prelim night one year, and we've been close, you know, like good enough to do it. It's just Saturday night's a whole different animal, and I got a C main plaque inside my bar that sits there. I'm like, you know, and I beat Zach Dom to do that, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of funny, but yeah, it's just, this place is very humbling, and I don't get to race midgets a ton, right? You know, I really come here and expect to do really well out of myself, and just like no different than like Ricky Thornton over there and stuff. It's like there's a whole different challenge for us. These cars are so much different than anything we do, and I've now probably got 20 midget races under my belt or something like that, and I learn more and more. It's just I don't know nothing about torsion bars and that type of shit. You know, these guys got a whole different lingo of everything. It's just funny to come over to this pit area and we talk about blowing decks out and they're talking about Jacob's ladders and all this stuff. I'm like, that's just a J-bar in our world, you know? So it's pretty funny. But as far as the pit bull session, you won't have a problem with me coming back. It's trying to get Danny Dietrich or Hannah or Connor to actually show up out here to do a live pit bull. So I enjoy it. It's fun. I'm living the actual sprint car lifestyle, the open wheel lifestyle this week. Flying private tomorrow morning back with Kyle Larson. Fly back here Friday. So, you know, just a helmet bag carrier.
Well, maybe we could do Pit Bull live on Saturday because Connor is coming. Hopefully you're a part of Saturday. And, of course, the Zach Dom he was referring to is the man in the black sweatshirt back there, Extreme Outlaw Champ, among other things. He'll be racing here this week. But I do want to ask you, you're not afraid to take on this challenge. It does take an extra set of huevos, for lack of better words, especially when you're in amongst the talents you are here. What made you decide you wanted to give it a go?
I just want to be a versatile race car driver. You know, so many guys do it, and it just helps them in whatever they do for a profession. You know, whether it's Kyle on the Cup side or, you know, me and Ricky on the late model side or whatever. It's like all the best guys in the world are here racing, and just trying to make a name for yourself and be a guy that can jump in kind of anything and get it done. And I enjoy racing these cars. It's just really fun, and like I said, so much different than anything else I race. And like say on iRacing, if I'm going to go run on iRacing, I run midgets and sprint cars and stuff. Something I've never, you know, raced, or I do a lot of road racing and stuff like that. It's just a different challenge for me, and I try to challenge myself to get myself better. And yeah, these kids, you know, that we race against here are super aggressive and really good. And I just enjoy it. I feel like late model racing has taught me a lot as a driver. That has helped in these a little bit, but this racing here, I think we'll parlay into next week, get me back sharpened up for Sunshine Nationals and everything we got coming up down in Florida. So never, you know, hurts to get laps, whether it's here or in a go-kart or whatever.
Yeah, Sunshine coming up, followed by the Dirt Car Nationals. You mentioned the Lucas Oil champ, Ricky Thornton Jr., who's right over here. Look around our pits here with the World of Outlaws. Who would you like to see maybe take that opportunity? I know Drake Troutman's going to give it a whirl. Who else would you think would succeed over here in this world?
Yeah, I mean, Bobby's drove them before, once or twice, not much at all. And, you know, there's a lot of those guys that could get it done. Ryan Gusson, too big to run a midget. You know,
Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, there's, you know, quite a few of them guys that these sprint car guys, midget guys, are literally horse jockeys. And I'm fortunate that I'm a smaller stature that I could fit in one of these things pretty well. Jonathan Davenport got in one of Zach's cars 5 or 6 years ago, and his head's almost out the roof and his knees are buried in the steering gear. And so gotta be a smaller guy for sure. So Drake is, you know, he's bigger than I am, so he's gonna, you know, have a tough time. But yeah, it's just, it'd be interesting. But like Bobby, you know, he's small enough to do it. It'd be interesting to see what he could do out here and stuff. It's just, it's a totally different type of racing. And like I said, it's just really fun for us to do.
You know, you can't get you and Connor in the same television screen together without perhaps wanting to hear a question from Connor. Connor, you got something that I could share with Nick?
Yeah, I want you to make sure Nick is very aware that if he's going to live this sprint car lifestyle and he's going to race the Chili Bowl in this world, you know, we don't exactly give away promoters' sibling provisionals like you got at Millbridge with Extreme. So my question for Nick is, has he tried to temporarily get adopted into the Hahn Ward family just for the week? In case he doesn't make the show, he's got that family provisional.
You got adopted into the Hahn Ward family just in case, you know what? So you got that provisional?
No, I don't here. I can't even get in the Race of Champions for some reason.
Yeah, that's wrong, by the way.
So I didn't win the championship. Obviously, I run second in Outlaw points, but I won the Coleman Farm Cup. But held 3 or 4 years ago, I won the UMP National Championship in a modified, and I still couldn't get in the Race of Champions. And for me, any laps would help here. Take them, you know, I might run dead last in that Race of Champions, but at least race against the best guys here and see where I'm lacking. But yeah, it is what it is. But as far as a provisional, no. Ashley gave me a provisional, and I hate taking it, but it was like literally I'm here to test for Chili Bowl and try and get better, and I need every lap I can get. So I was that guy that took the family provisional at Millbridge. But yeah, here I'm just shit out of luck.
I'm curious. Congratulations, by the way, for that Coltman Farms trophy that was massive. It's a gun safe. I understand it's being filled up. What else would you do with it? Tell me you're at least a little bit taller than that trophy. It's big.
No, that thing weighs 1,300 pounds, and it's definitely taller than I am. And yeah, I've just been collecting guns here, and my dad gave me a double-barrel shotgun for Christmas. I've got a couple pistols in there and shotguns and a 22. So yeah, I'm trying to fill it up. I mean, I can't have a gun safe sitting there and open this baby up and it be completely empty. That would look pretty stupid. So yeah, it's a really cool trophy. I mean, probably one of the coolest trophies I have. It's sitting right by all my Gators. So some pretty prestigious trophies, stuff that I'm very proud of, and it's a pretty damn cool centerpiece when you walk in the shop.
Speaking of Gators, we'd be remiss without getting your thoughts on Sunshine, Dirt Car Nationals. We're about to get going. The state of late models, the World of Outlaws this year, what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, I got a great crew that I've assembled, me and Ty, going into Florida here. It came along pretty late in the going and literally into the last week here of getting people put in place and the right people, and I'm very confident in the crew that I have now. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of equipment. Ty's kind of gave me everything we need to succeed, and we've gotten better every single year. And going to Florida, I'm always confident, you know, whether it's a late model, the modified stuff. Super pumped up on the modified side to have quite a few really good cars. I ain't gonna let the cat out of the bag yet, but we got a lot of really good guys. And
there's a cat coming? It's in a bag? Why has a cat got to be in a bag, by the way?
Yeah, we just got some really good race car drivers coming out in modifieds for elite chassis side, and I'm super pumped up about it and feel like we shouldn't lose a race down there. So we'll see. My guys have done great for me on representing my brand, and I don't even have to race them anymore. And I got Kenny Wallace coming back in my personal car, and excited about that. And then a lot of other great guys. So it'll be fun. I'll be down there for now almost over a month with Hendry County and everything added to it. It's a long couple weeks for us, but that modified week is enjoyable for me. It's it's my business, and our race cars are really good. And just stay down there and just kind of be a crew chief, or help guys out, whether it's driving wise or what they need to do to get faster at Volusia, and really looking forward to it. And obviously the weather, and my kids get to be there. We go to Disney, and there's just a lot that goes on down there.
Time to get the race face on tonight. Good luck.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching.
And of course is Nick Hoffman, who we love so well on Pitbull. And of course watching him wheel a World of Outlaw late model car. One of the many, many talented drivers that are out here trying to knock on the door of picking up a golden drill, as we send it back to the studio with Connor.
Thanks, Dave. Nick Hoffman running the Chili Bowl is great for the event and great for motorsports as a whole. The Chili Bowl can deliver both the highest of highs and the lowest of lows for dirt racers. Sometimes drivers will experience the most heartbreaking, gut-wrenching moments of their careers in this event. That was the case last year for youngster Briggs Danner. Find out how he plans to get redemption after this break.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's crisp.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts here.
There's a moment behind the wheel of what I've built, where power overrides gravity Then I hit that zero moment. Zero doubts, zero fear, zero competition. No rule or mold I can't break. And limits? Absolutely zero. And there's enough zero sugar to get me there.
I think it's a very big deal that we have Amcus, providing us with the Amcus cutting tools throughout our series and World Racing Group. It's good that we were able to get a product in that's reliable and it does the job. If for some reason we had to cut a car apart or get access to a driver or a patient, we know that this tool here is definitely the one that we're going to work the best, get us in there quickly.
Race fans, the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals is bigger than ever. From January 29th through February 14th at Volusia Speedway Park. See the world of outlaws, sprint cars, and late models. Plus, American Sprint Car Series, USAC National Sprint Cars, the Super Dirt Car Series, and the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. Ticket packages, camping, and more at DirtCarNationals.com. Next winter, head south.
DMI Racing components and Bulldog quick change rears are developed, engineered, and manufactured to take you to victory lane. Whether you are a touring professional or a weekend warrior, the products offering you the best value, reliability, and performance come to DMI and Bulldog. Innovation Racing components proudly made in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, USA. Visit diversifiedracing.com to learn more about the complete line of DMI Racing components and the Bulldog quick change rears.
If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing.
At Pit Boss Jack's, we put in the work in the shop so you can put in your work at the track. Engineering, speed, durability. Pit Boss Jack's, like a boss.
Welcome back to Chili Bowl pre-race coverage on Dirt Vision here on this Monday afternoon. We've seen several breakout prelim winners at the Chili Bowl over the years, and we got very close to one on Monday night in 2025. First, let's think back to 2 years ago. Briggs Danner made a name for himself with a third-place effort on his prelim. Later that week, he made his first Saturday finale. That showing caught the eye of a pretty noteworthy car owner, Alex Bowman. Bowman liked Danner's efforts enough to add the PA youngster to his Chili Bowl stable for 2025. So coming off a career showing and an upgrade to one of the fastest teams in the building, Briggs Danner was primed for a win. And it looked like it was going to go that way. In my opinion, Danner had the fastest car in the building that night. On lap 8, he slid Shane Golobic for the lead in turns 3 and 4 and cleared the slider, but caught the cushion and flipped, ending his chances at what very well could have been the biggest win of his career. It was a moment that drew a sigh from the many heads that Danner turned that night. Thankfully, Briggs gets another opportunity with Alex Bowman Racing, and you can believe the 55i is ready to put on another show yet again.
You nailed it. He had the fastest car on Monday a year ago, but he also had the flip heard around the world so much so that look at this man, tongue-in-cheek. Take a peek at that shirt. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. That's the plan this year, isn't it?
Yeah, just a general reminder, I guess, of
what not to do this year. To say I've been looking forward to today since last year would be an understatement. I obviously have watched a lot of video and thought about it probably every day, so I'm excited to get back out there.
Still, though, you were able to put together a sensational year. A lot of first USAC win and a Silver Crown car. Did a lot of things for the state of Pennsylvania that USAC racers haven't done in a long time, so you still rebounded from it nicely.
Yeah, you can't let it bother you. It's just part of racing. You push hard and that kind of stuff happens. But we had a really good year, and I think confidence is a lot of it, and just trying to minimize mistakes as a driver is important. And Chili Bowl, I felt like taught me that, a lot of it, and so we'll see what we have coming here tonight.
Sounds to me like, of course, with your shirt, you don't remember necessarily the ones you won so much as the ones that got away. So in a season that was as successful as it was last year, what did get away last year during the summer? Anything?
SmackDown got away from us. That was kind of another one. That was a tough one to swallow, but it's when you push hard like that, it's things that's going to happen, and you're racing really good guys. We got a lot of good guys on deck tonight, so we're going to be pushing just as hard, just make a couple smarter decisions, and we'll see what happens.
Alex Bowman Racing, I'll tell you what, it's fun to watch those guys work. He's very quiet, very methodical at what he does. Why is he so successful in putting together a really good combination for you? Hopefully again tonight.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, he just loves to do it, is the main thing. He's got the nicest cars in the building here, and it makes my job easier to go fast. But everything just seems to click, and Mickey's helping us out, and I feel pretty good. I felt good yesterday. I felt good last year, so I feel pretty confident going into tonight. Obviously, there's luck involved all the time, but we'll give it our best shot, and we're here to have a good time, and that's a lot of it. So.
All the talk in practice yesterday was about how juiced up the track is. Track came in, in really good condition after sitting out all summer long, and obviously you're going to go ahead and get out there on probably what will be one of the most juiced up tracks. You like them when they're juiced like that?
Yeah, I was really happy last year with how racy the track got, how quick it got for Monday night. The Race of Champions stuff helps out with that a little bit, but I don't mind a juiced up track. I think yesterday I got kind of messed up with practice sessions, so I saw two slower tracks that really didn't have much character to it. I went out late in the first round, and then I went out late in the second round. So it'll be different today. You don't really learn a whole lot in practice, I feel like, but just got comfortable. Car's running good, and today's a new day, so we'll see how it goes.
So what's the general conversation been about the shirt? A lot of people giving you some beef and saying, hey, at least you're tongue-in-cheek about it?
Yeah, I guess so. Obviously I know what I did wrong, and got to learn from it, but these guys, they're here to win, and I'm here to win, so maybe could have settled for second, had a shot to win, but second obviously puts you in a good spot as well. But yeah, no, all the guys they're all laughing about it, and I can laugh about it now. I remember walking in Tuesday last year, and I swear every time I looked up at the board, it was the only thing I saw was me flying through the air. So we're gonna try and not make that happen again.
Most important question is that merch? Is that available?
It's not. This is a one-off shirt I actually just saw for the first time this morning.
That's a shame, because that's a shirt I would own. You got to love a guy that can look at a situation like that, put it in proper perspective, and probably go out and be damn fast again tonight.
Danner had a great year in the non-winged sprint car world, picking up 5 USAC wins en route to a 6th-place finish in points. Race fans around the country are only going to hear the name Briggs Danner more and more in the coming years. 2026 will be just the 8th Monday night prelim in Chili Bowl history, since the event expanded to 6 nights back in 2019. Through the first 7 years, only 4 drivers have claimed victory to begin the Chili Bowl week. The leader in the clubhouse is Bixby, Oklahoma's Cannon Macintosh, whose wins in 2020, 2021, and 2023 earned him the nickname Mr. Monday. Macintosh is yet to turn a prelim win into a golden driller, but is expected to be a perennial contender at the event for years to come. After back-to-back years outside the top 10 on Saturday, Macintosh is ready to be back in contention, and Step 1 takes place tonight, as all 3 of Macintosh's career prelim wins have led to Saturday finale top 5s. Same as last year when he had the momentum of an Extreme Championship, Cannon comes into this year's Chili Bowl fresh off a coveted USAC National Midget title. He's the only man in history and might be the only man forever to win 3 championships in 3 different midget series, plus now 2 BC39 triumphs. The most notable remaining accolade for 23-year-old Tanner Macintosh is to collect a golden driller in his home state.
You know, I think it's just executing every time you hit the track. You know, last year it wasn't a very smooth night, and our heat race, we started off upside down. Luckily, you get the tire change in time and get back out there to at least make the qualifier. And I think we started 7th in our prelim feature, and everything was going good. You know, we finally got to the lead, and I was kind of controlling the pace there and had an okay lead. And those last 10 laps, I just really struggled and started to fade. And then, you know, Golobic and Larson were able to get by me. And it's just figuring out what I need to do better there in the last half of the race. I felt like the first half were really good, and it's just that second half there. You know, even the year before that, I was leading on my prelim night and got passed and just kind of fell apart there. So I think just putting the whole race together and maybe just not starting or not getting the lead so fast and just seeing what the guys in front of me are doing and trying to be that guy on the hunt there at the end. So because there's always someone coming. You know, everybody in here wants it bad, and if I do get to the lead, I just need to stay hungry, not get comfortable, and just try to create really good pace and just not make mistakes, really. Anytime you can win anything in this building, it's pretty special. So, I think there's a little bit of a window. You try something, but you try to stay within that window of, you're going to be good still. For me, I'm going to drive it. I have a second car here, so I'm going to push it to the limit and try to win it. So, I won't leave anything on the line, that's for sure.
We really can't talk about Chili Bowl prelim nights without talking about a guy that always flies under the radar at this race. Shane Golobic has never won a feature inside the Expo, but he's come as close as you possibly can. Golobic's resume in prelim features at the Bowl is incredibly impressive and incredibly consistent. 16 consecutive starts, 6 times he has finished in a Saturday lock-in spot, 12 top 5 finishes, and 3 consecutive finishes of second, including laps led the last 2 seasons on Monday night. It's essentially been a guarantee for several years at this point that Golobic is going to come out strong to start the week and establish Matt Wood Racing and the 17W as a contender. His Saturday finishes are only getting better, with 3 consecutive finishes of 6th or higher and a personal best 3rd last year. Golobic doesn't race midgets a lot throughout the year, mainly focusing on sprint cars in California, but he always looks as at home as anyone this time of year. After being so close before, how bad does Shane Golobic want to taste victory in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Let's find out how he views his resume in T-Town.
Well, it's Monday, so I think I'm very motivated and happy. This is a long week for the way we do this, so by Friday I think there's a lot of frustration. But right now I'm extremely motivated. That's kind of why I put myself on Monday night with this team. But it's all about being in this building and having a good week. And it is very grueling and long. And the building here and the racetrack here is kind of a great equalizer. You can see guys who don't race midgets all year come in here and have good speed, and just having a good understanding of what this racetrack does and what it takes to be fast here is huge. Just having speed here is #1 priority. If you don't have speed, I don't care how much luck you do or don't have, it doesn't matter. So I know practice day went well yesterday. All our cars felt really good, had good speed again, so I feel like that'll translate into the races throughout the week. As long as we have speed, I think our drivers are smart enough to make the right decisions at the right times, get ourselves in the right position, and hopefully by the end of Saturday we've got a few of us in good spots again like last year. Just to add your name to the list of people who've gotten a driller would be awesome. It's something I've been trying to do for a really long time now, and feel like we've gotten pretty close many times, and just need to find that little bit extra, whatever it is, to finish the deal off. But that would mean everything, and I think, again, not to keep saying it over and over, but to do that for Matt, it would make his life. He's the biggest midget fan in the world, and this is his favorite week of the year. So we're here just trying to do the best we can for Matt and everybody on this team. So yeah, it would be huge.
Golobic's team, Matt Wood Racing, seems to get a little closer each year to their first Golden Driller. They got their first prelim win last season and bring another stout lineup into this season, with Golobic being joined by Austin Wood, Darren Pittman, remember Pittman, runner-up at the Bowl back in 2017, Colby Copeland, Landon Brooks, who won that prelim last year, and Ryan Bernal, who we'll have more on later after a crash in practice yesterday. It's a nice, diverse group of 6 drivers for the California-based super team. We've only touched on a few of the heavy hitters tonight. Larson, Macintosh, Danner, Golobic. The big names are endless for night one of the 2026 Chili Bowl. A stacked field awaits. Get our final thoughts before the night gets underway after this last commercial break.
If your answer to the summer heat is let it rain, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
It was just a no-brainer for me. I felt like over the years there's been so many back injuries and so many people getting hurt. Scott Hoffman and everybody at Chasm Racing Products have come up with a system that basically supports your back. It gives you that little bit of cushion that you need when you get in those wrecks with that downforce collision, and I feel like next level cutting edge technology that just helps us as drivers just be that little bit more safe. I'm thankful for everything that Chasm Safety Products has done, and I think that they're going to continue to innovate, and it's only going to get better and better for the future to come.
Race fans, the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals is bigger than ever. From January 29th through February 14th at Volusia Speedway Park. See the world of outlaws, sprint cars, and late models. Plus, American Sprint Car Series, USAC National Sprint Cars, the Super Dirt Car Series, and the Dirt Car UMP Modifieds. Ticket packages, camping, and more at DirtCarNationals.com. Next winter, head south.
Every lap, every race, every bit of paint traded for every hard-fought place. Every checkered flag and trophy raised. Every ounce of dirt, sweat, and gears. They're all jammed inside every can of NOS Energy. Go ahead, open up a can.
Welcome back. We begin our last block of today following up on an announcement from Keith Kunz yesterday during Chili Bowl practice day. Buddy Kofoid, who's always a contender in Tulsa, will not compete in this year's Chili Bowl due to an illness. Buddy recently raced sprint cars in Australia over the last couple weeks and was slated for a Chili Bowl effort and yet another return to Australia before the World of Outlaws season kicks off at Volusia. Buddy is currently at home in Indiana resting and recovering, but as of now will not make the trip to Tulsa. We extend our well wishes to Buddy and wish him all the best, hoping he is healthy in time for Volusia in just 23 days. With Kofoid not racing on Tuesday, Ryan Timms has shifted his qualifying night from Wednesday to tomorrow to align with KKM's crew availability in Kofoid's absence. This move could turn out to be pretty smart on Timms' part, as he was originally up against a tough field on Wednesday night. Let's bring Dave Rieff back in from the Tulsa Expo Raceway in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Dave, I want to lead off our conversation with this Kofoid thing. When Keith Kunz first did that interview with Tyler Burnett from Flow Racing yesterday, Keith said that he had called a couple people, but at that time he did not expect anybody to replace Kofoid. We now understand, and some people might be finding this out for the first time, as this seems to have broke within the last hour, that they have hired a replacement for Buddy who will qualify on Wednesday, and it's Aiden Price, a name that I've heard a little bit. He's, according to his My Race Pass profile, 15 years old. He's from Mooresville, North Carolina. We've seen him win in micros at Millbridge. So I've heard this name, but it kind of caught me by surprise that he's never ran a midget before. He's going to do it at the Chili Bowl for KKM. Did it kind of catch you and people in the building by surprise as well?
I think so, especially after the news that Keith put out yesterday that they weren't really actively necessarily looking for anything. But you know as well as I do, there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes, especially when it comes to a Keith Kunz Motorsports ride. Not sure what came first, the chicken or the egg, who necessarily caught who, but I do believe there were some conversations going on behind the scenes trying to find capable people that could fill that seat. And for Aiden Price, the 15-year-old, yes, out of North Carolina, he is a Millbridge veteran that has been doing this a long time. A lot of people see him as a young up-and-comer. It's pretty obvious that this is going to work out pretty well for Aiden. Great opportunity for him as he will move into that Wednesday time slot. So just when you thought there was going to be an extra Keith Kunz car down to 10 this year as opposed to 16 like it was last year, it is suddenly filled up and KKM is rocking and ready to go. But as far as Buddy Kofoid goes, if you watched any of the coverage from over in Australia, you could see he was a little bit depleted, a little bit deteriorated, so no surprise that he came home and, is just not able to go here this weekend. But Aiden Price is in, the 15-year-old out of North Carolina.
Hey, what an opportunity for him. So again, Aiden's going to qualify on Wednesday for KKM. We talked about Shane Golobic earlier on. You talked to Shane Golobic this afternoon, and I mentioned how Matt Wood Racing, they just seem to get better and better, closer and closer to that Golden Driller every year, and it's impressive. They're a team that really doesn't race midgets hardly at all throughout the season. Golobic's always been good. They broke through for a prelim win last year with Landon Brooks. Ryan Bernal also very impressive last year. However, this year's Chili Bowl for Ryan Bernal not off to a great start. A wicked, gnarly crash in practice yesterday. Seems to be good to go. I know you were around that stable today. What did you find out about both Ryan Bernal, how he's feeling, and how the race car was after that wreck?
Well, trust me when I say this, it's easy to diagnose what went on with the race car. Good news is it doesn't feel pain. It doesn't know any better, and you can quickly deduce what's going on with a race car. Not too much damage. These midgets, they're fairly stout when they take those big rides, so they made the appropriate changes that they made under the guidance, of course, of Shane Golobic, who will be driving that car tonight in the Virtual Race of Champions, the V-Rock event that's coming up later tonight. He's going to go ahead and shake that down in anticipation of Ryan Bernal's return on Thursday for his qualifying night. Had an opportunity to talk to him in the pits, and he actually said he was surprised to not be more sore than he actually was this morning. Last night he thought, okay, this is going to be a rough ride getting to Thursday, but today feeling very, very good. Good enough to, by the way, to head toward a hyperbaric chamber. That is a situation where you can go get yourself in this chamber and it accelerates healing. It helps to reduce inflammation or promotes blood flow, oxygen flow from concentrated oxygen, and it's supposed to speed healing. So he's going to do that today, but Ryan Bernal says he has no problem believing that he's going to be good and ready to go for Thursday as Matt Woods Racing tries to duplicate that magical feat that they did 1 year ago.
Hey, you got to remember, Ryan Bernal puts out fires for a living out in California, quite literally. So if there's anybody that can get beat up a little bit, take some shit, it's Ryan Bernal. You mentioned the Race of Champions that's going to take place tonight, and there's a couple cars in that race that aren't qualifying tonight, but are still going to, of course, run that Race of Champions event. And they're out of that Swindell Speed Lab, Kevin and Jordan Swindell, along with Bertrand Motorsports Camp. In the past, we've seen Kevin Swindell bring one car to the Chili Bowl. Logan Seavey's, of course, been to Victory Lane twice in the last 3 years in that car. Expanded lineup for Kevin this year. Not only is it Logan Seavey, but adds Emerson Axsom, who's got a lot of talent to that mix. Kyle Cummins, the USAC Sprint Car champion. Jet Barnes, a youngster from California. Why did Kevin Swindell decide to go from one car to a four-car lineup this year?
Well, I'm guessing when I start by saying this, that he's just taking a lay of the land here and looking at the Keith Kunz Motorsports teams and the teams that bring multiple cars like Matt Woods Racing and says, you know what, I've got a great shoe in Logan Seavey, so why not? So easy, a foregone conclusion that he was back with at least one car, but it was late last January at the end of the Chili Bowl. Kevin said, you know what if we put a second car together? And it quickly came together, and it was easy once we got closer and closer to February that Emerson Axon was going to be that guy. But then a chance conversation in the middle of summer with Glenn Stiers, one of the guys that's so important out here. They said, you know what if we put a third car together? And next thing you know, you've got Kyle Cummins, another one of our V-Rock competitors tonight. And then he says, you know what? We're this deep into it. I've just got a spare sitting around as the fall turned to winter this year, so why not put that together? And they're going to go ahead and give Jet Barnes. Kevin Swindell likes Jet Barnes, says, you know what, I want to give him an opportunity, but probably the biggest part about this is the fact that Logan Seavey says that he actually is going to enjoy having these teammates. The Swindell Speed Lab cars are a little bit of a one-off as far as setups go compared to a lot of these midgets out here. So Logan can't just sit in the grandstand and watch what's going on and make adjustments in his race car. But with 3 other cars in the stable, Logan's going to be able to watch that, hopefully get that steering a little more to where he likes it. So Kevin Swindell says, you know what, it wasn't as hard as you think, but then again, he's not knee-deep into this thing. 3 cars in the race tonight. They practiced all 4 of them yesterday, so we've got a little foretaste of what's to come this week, or this evening, rather, Connor.
Looking forward to watching all those Swindell cars in action. 3 of them, Seavey, Axon, and Cummins, of course, in that race of champions tonight. We do have heat race lineups, Dave. I want to get to those in a second, but I have one final thing before we get to that. I just watched that interview, a very good interview that you did with Briggs Danner. I love the should have lifted t-shirt that he's sporting today. He said something in that interview that kind of caught my eyes and ears whenever he said, I'm driving for Alex Bowman Racing, and very firmly said, Alex has the fastest and the best cars in this building. And, maybe ABR is not thought of as the top team in the building. To a lot of people, you definitely can't argue their speed, but Briggs really seems to have some confidence in that team. And, man, they were good last year. I think Briggs is going to be dangerous tonight.
And you know what? Everybody looks for different qualities in race car drivers and team owners and crew chiefs and mechanics. And if you ever come to one of these events, Alex Bowman Racing is here with their midget team. Just watch Alex. He is a very quiet, very methodical guy. You got to love everything about him, his attention to detail, everything that he does. And that is something that obviously Briggs Danner likes. And the fact that they're going to go out on a tacky racetrack tonight with a car that Alex Bowman Racing knows how to make go very, very fast, that's why Briggs Danner is going to be one to keep your eyes on, especially too now as we transition into these lineups you're talking about, because he's going to be in position to get a lot of passing points. Let's just put it to you that way.
Yeah, for sure. So bring you back in a second, Dave. Want to quickly go through lineups for the 9 heat races tonight. By the way, 69 cars signed in for competition. Pretty nice way to start the week. Heat race number 1, we already talked about Nick Hoffman on the pole of that. Joby Miller could be a fast car from the outside of row number 2. How about heat race number 2? Billy Rayburn, Joe Evans on the front row. Not a lot of huge names in that one, but watch Alex Sewell coming from the tail. Jackson Steele, our producer on site, told me on the phone this morning Sewell was really fast in practice yesterday, so hey, maybe the 32A made some noise. Heat race number 3, Todd Kluver, Blake Green on the front row. Big names for the back in this one. Drake Edwards, young hot shoe out of Arizona. He's driving for Chad Boat. Those cars always fast in the Expo. And Mr. Monday, Cannon Macintosh, going for prelim win number 4. Cannon, a great opportunity to gain some points starting in 6th. Heat race number 4, how about Dylan Welch? Used to be a race car driver, then he became a NASCAR commentator. Still hops in a midget every now and then. He's pretty solid. Zach Hampton saw him on the Outlaw Tour this past season. He's going to start 5th in that 4th heat race. Heat race number 5, Trey Marcham, Newcastle, Oklahoma native, had him on the list of notable entries at the top of the show. He's had good Chili Bowl runs in the past. Ryder McCutcheon, a youngster to his outside. Taylor Courtney, Moonshine, the twin brother of Sunshine, Tyler Courtney, he starts 3rd. And then, as Dave Rieff mentioned, Briggs Danner with an opportunity to gain a lot of passing points rolling out from the tail of that one. Heat race number 6, big name Kyle Larson, looking for back-to-back Chili Bowl wins. He's going to start 6th. Great opportunity for him. Brian Dunlap's 32 with Gary Taylor behind the wheels, going to start 3rd. Jake Ianriotti also in that one. Heat race number 7, Garrett Benson passed a lot of cars at DuQuoin with Power Eye last month in December. He's in that 7B car, a teammate to Thomas Meserol. Cameron Key also at the tail of that heat race for Trifecta Motorsports. Shane Golobic talked about it, 3 consecutive second-place finishes on Monday night. He is going to start 4th in heat race number 8. which will be the second to last heat race of the evening. You see the lineup there. Good opportunity for him to win that one. Heat race number 9, the final one of the night. Tanner Carrick, who has won 2 Monday night prelims, is on the outside of the front row. He's got Jerry Coons Jr., a veteran, right behind him. So, Dave, we just talked about 9 heat race lineups. Any one in particular stand out to you?
Well, just from talking to some of the guys that we did earlier, you got to like Golobic, who definitely is feeling the pressure of trying to duplicate what they did last year. Briggs Danner being able to laugh that thing off, tongue-in-cheek. He's going to be fun to watch from back there. You know, and Kyle Larson. Listen, we saw what he did a year ago. I mentioned it when we started this show today. The fact that he can take a car that is not necessarily prepared the best and still wheel it to the front, you know, Kyle's going to be one to keep your eyes on tonight. So it's pretty much an obvious as far as who we pay attention to tonight. So that's what I kind of think is going to happen, especially with Monday kind of ushering us gently into a full week of racing. It's going to be getting better each and every night.
Last question for you, Dave. The last handful of years that I was in the Expo, every single year on Monday night, I would look around at the crowd before the feature and I'd say, oh, I think this is the biggest Monday night crowd ever. I did that one year. I came back the next year. Oh, I think it's the biggest Monday night crowd. The next year said the same thing. And it's true every single year. It seems like more and more people decide to travel for the whole week and come on Monday night. Would you expect another packed house to start the week to set the tone for packed houses all week long at the Expo?
I think that is an absolutely safe assumption. I mean, I can go back to when it was just a 3-day event, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday got bigger. It got to a point where they went ahead and said, you know what, we're going to go on Wednesday. And now all of a sudden, we're going on Monday. Practice night, it's going to get bigger and bigger. But yes, Monday, the vibe is definitely exactly like you'd expect it to be. More and more people are coming. Hotels are filling up. More and more people are taking advantage of Airbnbs. Why not come? It's a great night to come and see Kyle Larson, who's apparently going to make Monday night his night of qualifying, and see some great racing and actually have a little bit of elbow room inside here at the SageNet Center.
Dave, thank you so much for all your and Jackson's hard work today. Enjoy the show tonight, and we'll see you back tomorrow. That is going to wrap up day number 1 of Dirt Vision's Chili Bowl pre-race coverage. 69 cars plus the Race of Champions. It's going to be a fun Monday night for Second Opinion Auto Center qualifying night. Dirt Vision's coverage is going to wrap up in about 26 minutes. Hot Laps will officially kick off the 2026 Chili Bowl. We invite you to watch all of that live on Flow Racing. Who's going to win night number 1? Who's going to finish second and also secure a spot to Saturday? We'll break that down with more pre-race coverage heading into Tuesday night tomorrow here on Dirt Vision, home to the greatest shows on dirt. Enjoy the 2026 Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS.
This has been a presentation of Dirt Vision, a World Racing Group property. For information about upcoming broadcasts, follow us on social media, including Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also watch more than 2,500 classic races and shows anytime at dirtvision.com or the Dirt Vision app.